All right, you should have this paper out with this from the back of your book to cut and glue. I'm going to read you a story about Columbus. I'll put this up here on my little stand for you. You can look at that. We're going to talk about Christopher Columbus. He discovered America. I'm going to show you on my globe here. A long time ago, and there is Christopher Columbus there in the story. A long time ago, people thought that the world was flat. If you've ever been to the beach and you look out at the ocean and you it looks like it comes down. So they thought like once you got out to the end of that, you would just fall off the earth. They didn't know that the earth was round. And so Christopher Columbus, he thought that the earth was round and he thought that there was other lands out there. So he got the king and queen of Spain. I'm looking to see where Spain is. Spain is right here. This green one. That's Spain. That's where he lived. Okay. So he got them to pay for ships, give him ships, and pay for supplies and stuff for them to travel all the way across the Atlantic Ocean over to United States. This is United States over here, and we live, Pennsylvania is right there. Okay, so across the ocean he went. Across the ocean. So, because he wanted to prove that there was other lands other than just where they live, because people didn't know. They thought if you went out in the ocean, you were just going to fall off the earth. I think actually when he did land in the United, I think it was somewhere more south, is where he landed. But anyways, it took him a long time, and it took him several months. All right, so Ricci, it says Christopher Columbus sailed from Spain to search of water route to Asia. Actually, where he was looking to go to, show you where Asia is. This they would trade over. He was actually trying to figure out how to get. Let me show you where here's Spain. He was thinking that somehow, I guess, he could go around. Like he didn't know there was all this land here to Asia, because Asia is actually over in this area, like where China is and stuff. So he was trying to find a way, but he discovered new land that nobody knew about. So he hoped that the people of Spain could trade with the Asians for porcelain, silk, and spices. Instead of arriving in Asia, Columbus and his ships landed in the Americas. The second Monday in October has been designated Columbus Day. We do celebrate Columbus Day. Many cities celebrate this national holiday with parades. In South America, people decorate statues of Columbus with flowers on that day to observe the discovery of the New World. Yeah, so this is North America where we live. This is South America. So yeah, he was somewhere down, I think one of these islands or something is actually where he actually landed. But he was the one that discovered America. All right, he had 3 ships that he took. So I'll let you look at this picture. You probably have your own picture you can look at too. And I will read to you from my book, my blue story. Pay attention because I'm going to ask you some questions. So the name says, listen to find out how America was discovered. And the name of our story is A Boy's Dream. When Christopher Columbus was a boy, he loved ships. Every chance he got, he would go down to the docks to watch the activity and talk to the sailors. He was glad that he lived so near the water in the seaport town. Columbus decided to learn everything he could about the sea because he wanted to be a sailor when he grew up. So that's what he wanted to do when he was little. So when Christopher was a teenager, he took his first step to becoming a sailor. He got a job as a cabin boy on one of the ships that had sailed into the harbor of Genoa. A cabin boy helped the captain and the sailors with little chores until he was experienced enough to become a sailor. So because he was young, they let him do some small chores and be like a little helper and train him as he got older to do harder, tougher work, more responsible work. I guess you could say, more grown-up work. So, I lost my spot. He would run errands for the captain, and as he worked, he would watch the sailors and learn from them. Christopher loved sailing from town to town on little ships, but he yearned for more adventure, so he became a sailor on a larger ship that sailed to places farther away. On Christopher's first voyage on the larger ship, an enemy ship attacked, and the ship Christopher was on sank. So even back then, there are real pirates. They would attack ships because people would be. That's how they traded things. They didn't have airplanes back then, so they would to trade things like some people maybe have food. They would trade food for maybe clothing and stuff like that. So to transport the stuff from country to country, they would use the water, ones that were further away. And the pirates knew that, the bad guys, they would call them pirates. They were just thieves, and they would attack the ships, and they would steal their goods, steal their stuff, steal their treasures and everything. So yeah, the pirates were real back then. So, and they would, with the cannons, I'm sure you've seen on TV and stuff, cannons and stuff, they would shoot the ships down. So his ship got shot down, I guess, with a cannon, and it sank. So Christopher, let's see, even though he was injured, Christopher was able to grab a piece of the ship and paddle many miles to shore. So there was a piece of wood in the water he was able to hold on to so he didn't drown because he was injured. While he was recovering from the shipwreck, Christopher decided to stop sailing for a while and go work in his brother's shop. His brother was a map maker, so his brother made maps for them, for the for the captains of the ships. So Christopher learned a lot about maps as he worked for his brother. He studied the maps and thought about sailing on the oceans he helped to draw, but he soon wished for more adventure. People enjoyed getting the spices, silk, and porcelain that came from Asia. Porcelain is like glass. The porcelain's like and sometimes you might see like little breakable statues or it's like teacups and plates. Like that's like porcelain that are things that are breakable. So that's what people would trade for. Silk is a kind of material for clothing. It's really nice, really nice. And spices for cooking, different spices that they would have. So it was, so people had enjoyed getting those from Asia. And it was a long, hard journey across the land to get to Asia because they would travel. It was far to get to Asia from here, and they would have to travel all the way across to get out to eight. It was a long journey. Take them a long time. So that's how when he was trying to figure out how they could get there by ship. That's what he thought because he didn't know there was all that land around there. So Christopher wondered whether one could get to Asia more easily by traveling around the land by the way of the sea. So he decided to try to find out. And he asked the king and queen of Spain whether they would provide the money for his great adventure. The king and queen agreed to help Columbus, and everyone loved the idea of having more spices and silk and porcelain. So Christopher bought 3 ships. When they have ships, they give ships names. So the names of his ships were the Nina, the Pinta, and the Santa Maria. Santa Maria was one name. So Nina, Pinta, and Santa Maria. And he hired 89 brave men to sail with him. So 80, that's a lot of people, 89 people to go with him. So with 89 plus 1 with him makes 90 people on those ships. So that means there was 30 on each ship, huh? So they sailed for about a month before one of the sailors saw land. Columbus and his men thought they were finally in Asia, but the world was much bigger than he had imagined. He had traveled only halfway around the world And instead of getting to Asia, he had come to a new land. The new land that he found is our home, America. It was a big continent and was later divided into many new countries, including what would someday become the United States. Columbus Day is celebrated because that new land that Christopher Columbus found on his journey to look for a way to Asia. So we can't get to Asia by water from, okay, there he was. He went across the ocean and got to the United States where we are. If we go from the United States across this ocean, the Pacific Ocean, we'll end up in Asia over here. It's where China is. China's part of Asia. So you can go by way of water, but you have to go through all that land. All right, so let me ask you some questions to see if you were paying attention. What did Christopher Columbus live near as a boy? Where did he live near? What did he live near beside? The water. He lived near the water, and he would watch the guys on the ship. So why do you think Christopher wanted to be a sailor? Well, he would always see the ships in his town all the time, and he would watch the sailors, and he wanted to be like them. He liked to see what they were doing. So what was Christopher's first job on the ship? What did he do first when he was young? He was a cabin boy. He was a helper. What happened on Christopher's first trip as getting a little tongue-tied. First trip as a sailor. What happened on the first time he went on a trip on the boat? The ship sank, right? Remember, pirates got him. Pirates got it and the ship sank. How was Christopher able to get to shore? What did he grab onto? To a piece of wood from the ship, and he was able to float to shore. And he was injured, so he took time to get better. And then what did Christopher learn while he was working for his brother? Because he went to go work for his brother then. What did he learn about? Maps, right? He learned about maps. He learned a lot about maps. How did learning about maps at Christopher's new job help him? How do you think learning about maps helped him when he wanted to go back out on an adventure and do and go on the ships out on an adventure? It made him think about going by the ocean to find the spices and riches of Asia. He made him think about trying to figure out a waterway to Asia instead of them always having to cross the land. Why were the king and queen willing to help Columbus purchase the ships and hire sailors? Why do you think the king and queen went to them? Because obviously he didn't have money to do it, so he needed to find somebody that did, so he went to the king and queen and asked them. Why do you think they wanted to help him? They thought they would get rich from all the spices and the fine things that he would bring back from Asia, and there would be things for them. They wanted the things. What did Christopher find instead of a quicker way to Asia? What did he find? America. Yeah, he found new land that nobody even knew about. And why is Columbus Day celebrated? Why do we celebrate Columbus Day? Because of the new land that Christopher Columbus found on his journey to look for a way to, because he discovered our lands. That's why we celebrate it, because when he discovered America. All right, well, you should have your pictures. Cut them out, and we'll glue them in the right place. These are his ships. Do you remember the names of the ships? They didn't even ask any questions about that. Anybody remember? The Nina, the Pinta, and the Santa Maria. The Nina, the Pinta, the Santa Maria. And those ships weren't like super, super big. I actually got to go on. They had one. It was called a replica. A replica is something like you make a copy of. They made a copy of Christopher Columbus's ship, and when they had it in Pittsburgh, and you could go like tour it, and I got to go on it with Madison and Carson and my husband. We went down and did that on a day. They do occasionally come. You might hear about, and I was surprised. It wasn't as big as I thought it was going to be, but it was all made out of wood. But it was a replica. It wasn't the same exact. It wasn't the one that Christopher Columbus used. A replica means it was a copy of. So they like copied the way his ship was made and made another one like it. So it's a replica ship. So you're going to glue your small picture here. That's probably the Nina and the Pinta. And this is the Santa Maria. I'm trying to remember which, because it was a good while ago that I did that, which ship I saw. It was I'm thinking it was the Pinta. I don't remember, but they do occasionally have them there where people can go and you take a little tour, get to walk and look at them. And it was actually, I thought, kind of small. I was surprised. I've just pictured it being bigger. All right, I forgot to tell you to write your name. Make sure your name's written on there. Have your 2 pictures glued on there. When you're done with that, you can turn your page over. And we're going to talk about a new sound. Oh, 2 O's together. Ooh. They ooh, ooh. They say ooh or ooh. Let me get my card. Where did I put it? Oh, here it is. So while you're writing your L's, and you also have your little card on there to look. I'll hold up my big card. Wood, that has a O sound. Book, bookmark. Cookies. Oh, I like that picture, huh? Football. So we have wood has a O sound. Oh, 2 O's together. Oh. Oh, you know what? I have the wrong picture. And I'm just realizing that. I have the wrong picture. I just saw the 2 O's. Look at the look at the little symbol on here. It's wrong pictures. I don't know where it is. I'll have to look for it later. This has the straight line. This has like the short O sound. Remember the short O sound? This has the long O. We're just going to look off of here. I should have paid attention to my pictures. I just saw the 2 O's and grabbed it out of my I don't want to waste time looking for it. I'll have it for you tomorrow, the correct one. But we can look at this one because it's exactly the same. So we have toothbrush, moose, rooster, poodle. It has a ooh sound. Ooh. So we have, let me look at some of my words here. Pool, tool, cool, stool. I grabbed all my, all right. Sorry about that. Another mistake I made. I better double check my pictures before I show them to you. That we will be doing that one. If that one is, when we get to that one. If we get to it this week or not. I will have to look. Yes, we do. We will talk about those other ones later on tomorrow. Those are for tomorrow. So I have those out a little sooner. That's for tomorrow's. Those that O sound. Can't believe I grabbed the wrong one. Sorry about that. All right, so you should have your L's done. And you should have went over these words with the ooh, 2 O's, ooh, toothbrush, poodle, rooster, moose. And I'm going to go over these words with you. We have the ool family. Take that O out, ool. So we have tool, pool. This will help you for your stuff there. Cool, stool, and there's one on the back. SP, spool. Okay. I don't think I have other. I have other OOs, but they're for tomorrow. All right, so let's look at these. We have a pool. Our words are pool, tool. So which one are you going to circle? Of course, pool. We have stool, cool. That's a stool, right? And we have, this is a ooh sound, spoon, noon. Right, spoon. And we have soon, moon. That's a moon. All right, let's read our words together here where it says read. We have some, do, our new word, off, there. Good, reach over, splash. All right. Get your next page out. Whoops. Your next page. Write your name. We have the O-O. Our word family is O-O-L. Ooh, ooh. Say ooh. Directions say circle each picture that has the vowel sound you hear in stool. Stool. So you're doing ooh. So let me read to you what those pictures are. Look at my book to make sure I am calling them the right things. Okay. Your name should be written up there. All right, so you should trace over your circle for stool. Next, this is a group here where this is called a band. Band. What short vowel do you hear? Band. A, right? So we're not circling that one. Pool. Remember, listen for ool. Pool. Pool, right? We hear the ool sound. So circle pool. Pretty soon, huh? We'll be getting ready to go swimming in pools. All right. Hopefully the weather gets nicer, huh? And nice enough that we can do that. Okay, what number is this? 70. 70. Do you hear ool sound in it? No. It's a short vowel. What sound is 70. E, short E. All right, in 7D, you hear a long E at the end, but it's actually a Y on the end of that word. All right, what is in this box? Tools. Tools. Do you hear the ool sound? Yes. So you're going to circle that. What is this? A starfish. This is one of our words, a star. R, bossy R. What two letters say R? Remember I said like a pirate. R. AR. So there's an AR or ARs in that one. Okay, this is a spool of thread. Spool. Do you hear the wool sound? Yes. Oh, he's cute. What is that? A dog, huh? Dog. Ah, ah. What short vowel sound do you hear there? Oh, yeah, dog. And then we have school. Do you hear ooh in it? Yes. So you're going to circle that one. You hear the ool sound. So you should have, stool, trace, stool, pull, tool, spool, school. Look, if you look at there's two, it's kind of like a pattern 2, 1, 2, but it's like a dot pattern. Let me trace this so you can kind of see it a little clearer. Like a dot pattern for 5, huh? The circles, do you see that? Kind of makes you think of a dot pattern for 5. Huh, pretty neat. All right. On the back, it says, you got spools of thread up here with letters on them. It says, write the missing letters to complete the word. So the first one they did for you, that's a tool. You're going to pick from here. So let's trace our T. And you're going to go up to that spool. And so you don't make a mistake, I would put an X on this to cross it out so you know you used that one and you're not going to use it again for tool. So we have, what is this? Stool. St. What sound do you hear? ST. So write your ST here and put an X on it so you don't make a mistake and write it again for stool. Okay, it should look like this. She wrote ST, put an X on it. So now we got P and SP. So this is a spool of thread. There you go, your SP. Write that down. Write that down there. And cross it out at the top. So you know you used it. So you should have your SP here. Cross out your SP up there. So what's our last letter we have left? P for pool. So write your P down there. And you can cross out that one. Crossing them out, a good thing to do so you don't make mistakes and accidentally write the wrong word or wrong letters in the wrong spot. All right, let's read all these in the yellow box together. We have cool, pull, spool, stool, tool. I hope you said those with me. Okay. All right. That is it for our phonics for today. Oh, let me show you what you are doing for handwriting. Page 157. Oops, let me get back to show you. 157. He needed his tools. You can color those tools. You can color them whatever colors you want because they could be play tools. Like you think about Mrs. Spawn's room, all her tools in her little toy area, they're all different colors. So if you want to make them realistic, fine. If you want to color them different colors, fine. Doesn't matter. We'll go over tomorrow. I'll review our AR, ER, all those from last week, and I'll have the right chart. Sure, I have the other chart, the correct chart, and we're going to talk about flags tomorrow. So next, I'm going to do reading with you. I'll read you our new story. God's man. It's about Elijah. God's man Elijah. So that'll be next. So get out your reading book, and I'm going to read with you.